Hi, I'm Scott Wrighton. I serve as Decatur City Manager, and every week it's our pleasure to tell you a little bit more or something new or different about what's going on with your Decatur City government. At their last meeting, the Decatur City Council authorized a grant to be submitted to the Department of Transportation to study whether or not there's a sufficient demand for us to run a bus service between Decatur and places where our residents can go to and from Amtrak at Bloomington or Champaign or in Springfield, which are the nearest Amtrak spots to Decatur. We know that there's people that go to those Amtrak sites or from them on their way to Decatur. What we don't know is whether or not there's enough demand to fund a bus service that would go there on a regular basis, coordinated with the times that the trains arrive and depart from those locations. The study will also analyze whether or not over the long term there's justification for rail service to Decatur, but that seems a distant possibility. At a minimum, we want to improve intercity bus transit. You can also expect some changes with regard to the Greyhound bus that currently services Decatur. Next, I'd like to talk about something entirely different from transportation. Transportation is a popular and regular topic on these videos because transportation is a lot of what the city does. One of the other things the city does is it regulates and it licenses liquor licenses, and it regulates and issues licenses for video gaming. Under Illinois law, only an establishment with a liquor license is allowed to have video gaming. In the last couple of years, there's been a lot of discussion by the mayor and city council on the topic of whether or not we have too many establishments with too many video gaming machines. Certainly the town is saturated with them in a lot of different business establishments. So in order to make changes in it, they really have to look at the liquor code, oddly enough, because as I mentioned earlier, in order to have video gaming, you have to first be a liquor license holder. The state also has enacted certain requirements with regard to video gaming and liquor license holders. For example, those businesses locally that have a package sale, meaning they're allowed to sell liquor but in closed containers, not for consumption on the premises, just like a packaged liquor store. Those establishments are not allowed to have video gaming. So the state imposes some regulations of its own, but local governments are given broad discretion in how they regulate the liquor dealers and video gaming. In fact, some communities in Illinois have chosen, as a matter of policy, to have no video gaming whatsoever. Decatur has allowed it, and so now the question is, should we reduce the number of establishments with it and or reduce the number of video game machines themselves? And I bring that up because the City Council is examining some ordinance changes. And of course, those ordinance changes, because they affect this section of the business community, will be made available for public display for some period of time. And in fact, the City Council has authorized a survey to be made available through our website and social media and other platforms, where not just liquor dealers, but any member of the general public can give us their comment and their input about what the final policy decisions the City Council might consider making with regard to video gaming. So be on the lookout at our social media sites and our website for information about how you can participate in that survey, as well as how you might access the draft copy of the ordinance that the City Council will discuss for some period of time and at some point act on a final version of it. They certainly may make amendments to it, as is their prerogative. We'll have more to say about that in the weeks ahead. Thanks for tuning into this video and for your interest in the work of the City of Decatur.